The story begins the moment the protagonist is born. The first face he sees is a calm, kind woman, and he immediately realizes she is his true mother. At that moment, the memories of his previous life are still fully intact, making him quickly understand that he has been reincarnated into a completely different world. Being born as the 13th prince of a great empire leaves him confused and unable to adapt immediately. Soon after, the king comes to see him, smiling as he looks at his newborn son. He names him Noah and thanks the maid who gave birth to him safely. With the naming ritual complete and his title granted, Noah's status panel changes noticeably. It is revealed that his main element is water, meaning he will one day receive territory suited to it to develop his power. By the king's order, Crow activates Noah's status screen in front of the royal family and nobles, shocking everyone. Noah's talent is unprecedented. His water element reaches SS rank, a level never recorded for a newborn. Even his mother is stunned, as his stats have risen greatly since birth, showing that his mana awakened extremely early. The nobles celebrate, calling the 13th prince a rare genius. From that moment, Noah's fate becomes tied to his noble life, carrying huge expectations from the royal family in this strange world. Meanwhile, the Empire of Mice is a land full of powerful warriors. Its vast lands and rich resources provide a prosperous life and strong cultural growth. 6 years pass. Noah grows up in a grand royal palace, surrounded by servants and maids, slowly understanding this world. During this time, he realizes his power and stats increase as his followers grow. Some stats rise when he gives names or rules lands, while others come from the maids close to him. He understands that his path to true strength is gathering followers, as his growth is nearly limitless. However, his combat experience remains low due to his age. Later, Evely informs him that the Crown Prince and the 4th Prince are coming to visit. Noah goes to greet them, but the atmosphere is cold since they are only half-brothers. The Crown Prince's aura and gaze show a calculating mind. He is 29 years old and was originally the 2nd prince before becoming heir. Prince Henry, 21, is calmer and seems more sympathetic toward Noah. The Crown Prince quickly speaks, saying he brought a special gift. When the door opens, a dark aura fills the room. The man carrying the box suffers greatly, but endures it. Once open, screams and cries come from inside, revealing a strange sword. The Crown Prince explains it is a rare treasure and asks Noah to hold it. Refusing is not an option. The sword is called Leviathan, a demonic water element weapon, said to be the strongest magic sword in the Empire. Over 120 people died trying to control it. Henry reassures him, saying anyone unworthy dies upon touching it. But because Noah has SS rank water, he is safe. The Crown Prince watches as if it is entertainment, making Noah feel uneasy and more cautious of him. After they leave, Henry worries about giving such a dangerous sword to a child, but the Crown Prince insists a treasure like this belongs to the talented, as if he wants to test Noah himself. Elsewhere at night, the maid Dao Yi asks for leave after a disaster in her homeland. A severe flood destroys their farm, leaving her family in misery. Her mother, driven by hardship, turns to the red light district, and rumors spread that she may sell her body, claiming she once served a prince. When Noah heard what happened, he decided immediately. He appointed Dao Yi's mother as a gatekeeper in his territory with a salary of 10 Ri per month and gave her a house at the edge of the region. Dao Yi was deeply moved and cried in gratitude. In Noah's view, it was unacceptable for someone connected to the royal family to end up in a brothel. Since Dao Yi was his personal maid for life, he began thinking about buying her entire village. He expected others to exploit the disaster, so he chose to act early. This shocked Dion, who didn't expect such a bold move. The land cost about 700,000 gold, while the average annual income was only 120. Even servants earned no more than around 8,000. After collecting taxes and land revenue, Noah only had 500,000, so he still needed 200,000 more. Without hesitation, he decided to sell the land given to him by the emperor. Dion worried this might be disrespectful, but Noah didn't change his mind. He believed a noble's duty was to ensure people's welfare, not preserve appearances. A few days later, as Noah prepared to leave, Prince Henry came to see him. He looked concerned when he saw Noah still carrying the cursed sword. He explained that the sword had its own will and only accepted a worthy wielder, and using it wrongly could kill its owner. When they reached the disaster area, the situation was far worse than expected. Noah began his plan to buy the land carefully and took Dao Yi with him to inspect everything. The crops were completely destroyed. All fields, fruits, and vegetables were flooded and useless. Despite warnings, Noah insisted on seeing everything himself. At a food distribution point, he tried the food given to the people. It tasted terrible and smelled awful. An old man said that having food at all was a blessing and they shouldn't ask for more. But Noah didn't accept this. He couldn't believe the Empire of Mize would send such poor food. At that moment, the Inspector Garo appeared, acting suspicious. He said the food was fine while clearly struggling with the smell, then ordered the distribution to continue without any changes. When Noah saw what was happening, he immediately exposed the corruption and bribery practiced by Garo. Since the inspector didn't know Noah's true identity, he spoke arrogantly, claiming that taking part of the aid for himself was a natural right for his efforts. This shameless attitude ignited Noah's anger, and his killing intent surged, resonating violently with the demonic sword. Noah decided to punish those who exploited relief supplies for personal gain. At that moment, the sword Leviathan moved on its own toward him, as if acknowledging him and granting its power. The blade began devouring Noah's body and soul, but with unwavering will, he held on to one belief. Since he was born with extraordinary power, he must use it to protect people. Through that resolve, he controlled the sword's spirit and executed his judgment instantly, beheading the corrupt leader with a decisive strike. The terrifying power of Leviathan spread fear among the soldiers, as even a light swing carved deeply into the ground. During this, the Knight Commander Rowan arrived quickly. The moment he realized Noah was present, he bowed with deep respect. Rowan was responsible for the region's security and served under Prince Henry. He ordered everyone to bow to the 13th prince, and all present obeyed under his overwhelming aura. The guilty trembled and begged for mercy. Noah handed authority to Rowan, ordering him to punish all involved, increase food supplies immediately, and ensure they were sufficient. Hearing this, the villagers expressed deep gratitude, raising their voices to thank the 13th prince. Soon, news of Noah controlling the demonic sword reached the crown prince, who realized his younger brother possessed far greater power than expected. Back at the imperial palace, the emperor summoned Noah. Contrary to expectations, he didn't punish him, but praised him for minimizing losses and restoring order. Noah remained humble, saying it was just coincidence and that he only wanted to help, since the disaster area was the homeland of one of his maids. His status panel was checked again, shocking everyone as his water element had risen to SS rank. From that moment, the emperor's expectations of his son grew greatly, while Noah became more determined to continue his path with greater strength. Elsewhere, the imperial capital stood as the political, cultural, and economic center, known for its great prosperity. After that, Noah went to a district called Red, after hearing rumors of a singer with an extraordinary voice. During this time, Dao Yi worked even harder after her homeland's disaster, trying to repay his kindness, which clearly increased Noah's stats. When Noah entered, he realized the rumors were true. The singer's voice was truly enchanting, blending perfectly with the melody and bringing him deep calm. The singer, Ali Chi, was known for her sincere performance, singing with genuine emotion as if pouring her heart into every note, giving her voice a unique charm. At the peak of the performance, the instrument's string suddenly snapped, breaking the rhythm and shattering the atmosphere in an instant. Silence fell briefly, before a large man and his followers stormed the stage, causing chaos. From their words, Noah quickly understood that Ali Chi was working to repay a heavy debt left by her father. These men were exploiting her weakness and beauty, forcing her to sell her body to speed up repayment, without any regard for her dignity. The tension in the air grew heavy, making Noah feel suffocated. Without hesitation, he stepped forward and reminded them of the Empire's laws. Children do not inherit debts, and forcing a girl into such acts is a serious crime. The large man showed no fear and lunged at Noah, grabbing his neck. But the moment he touched him, he was struck by the hidden aura of the demonic sword, recoiling in pain. Noah stood firm, his gaze sharp, declaring his stance. His sudden presence and the unseen power made the gang retreat and flee, though they left with threats of revenge. The 13th prince restored order, and the shop owner realized he was no ordinary person, but a member of the imperial family. Noah then turned to Ali Chi and praised her voice sincerely. It was true admiration. He immediately gave her a monthly salary of 25 rin and told her to focus only on singing, without worrying about debt or threats. Back at the palace, Noah found an unexpected scene. The three men were kneeling at the gate, begging for forgiveness. Evely explained they belonged to a high-interest lending group, and once they learned Noah was a real prince, they rushed to apologize. Noah refused to meet them, saying that being a prince doesn't mean anyone can approach him freely, and that respect must come from law, not fear alone. Prince Henry happened to hear this and admired Noah's thinking and firmness. They entered together and began talking, especially about the singer. Noah explained he intentionally left the impression that he was still angry, to plant fear in the gang and keep them away from Ali Chi. His plan relied on psychological pressure rather than direct conflict. Despite his age, his thinking was highly mature. Then the topic shifted to the demonic sword. Noah raised his hand and summoned it instantly, showing complete control. It was clear the sword had accepted him and even taught him how to call it any time. Henry was shocked, realizing the sword had acknowledged Noah as its master and was ready to support him fully. Elsewhere, at night, the three men were still kneeling at the gate, not yet forgiven. Tension grew as exhaustion appeared, but fear kept them from leaving. Finally, one of them broke under pressure, stood up and began shouting insults at Noah. At that moment, the 13th prince released a small portion of the sword's aura. A terrifying pressure spread instantly, forcing them all to collapse. When Henry asked, Noah calmly said he had only used a small fraction of the sword's power, which was enough to intimidate them without spilling more blood. Soon after that incident, a famous noble personally came to invite the 13th prince to a grand and luxurious banquet. His name was Redlock, one of the most prominent figures among the nobles, and his presence alone drew attention. When Noah entered the hall with him, the atmosphere filled with movement, whispers, and watchful gazes. All eyes were on him, not only because of his status, but also because of the sword he carried. Curious, Redlock asked about it, and the moment he learned it was Leviathan, those who recognized its value were visibly shocked, tension spreading among them. Amid the silence, one ignorant man mocked, claiming the sword was nothing more than decoration for a child. The remark displeased Noah, and Leviathan itself seemed to react. In an instant, it released a terrifying aura, flooding the hall with overwhelming pressure. The air grew suffocating, bodies froze, and the banquet fell into silent panic. Sensing the danger, Noah intervened at once. He focused his will and calmed the sword, regaining control before things escalated further. It was clear the sword's reaction was a direct response to the insult toward its master. Redlock quickly stepped in, skillfully shifting the conversation. He praised Noah's power and presence, declaring that what happened proved the greatness of both the weapon and its wielder. Gradually, the tension eased, and the hall returned to normal. As for the man who made the comment, Noah ignored him completely. Under the disdainful gazes of the nobles, it became clear his standing would not remain the same. After that, many influential figures approached Noah, seeking to greet him or gain his favor. Among them was Byron, the head of a major trade union, who arrived with confidence reflecting his influence. Byron brought a girl with him, introducing her as his daughter, but Noah immediately sensed otherwise. Those raised among nobles carried a certain calm and confidence, which she lacked. She was overly cautious, observing everything carefully. Noah concluded she was likely once a slave, based on her obedient behavior and tendency to wait for orders rather than act on her own. Byron admitted she learned quickly, which was why he chose to adopt and train her, hoping she would become someone reliable in the future. Hearing this, Noah accepted the explanation and showed interest, suggesting they visit the palace later to speak more. After Byron left, Noah evaluated him calmly, noting that he knew when to end a conversation properly without overextending or flattering, unlike many others. He also had another reason for knowing the girl wasn't his real daughter. When Leviathan released its aura, she immediately reacted with caution and positioned herself to protect Byron with her body, instead of seeking protection herself. Hearing this analysis, Redlock couldn't hide his admiration, realizing that the 13th prince possessed not only immense power, but also sharp insight and a deep understanding of people. A few days later, while wandering through the city, Noah coincidentally met his brother, the 8th prince Oscar. Noticing Noah was free, Oscar invited him to go out together in search of rare treasures. They headed to Koban Street, a place known for expensive antiques. Most items were fake, but the true enjoyment for nobles was distinguishing real from fake. After a long search, Oscar found nothing worth interest. Meanwhile, Noah casually bought an old book for 3 rin. At first, Oscar didn't care, but once he examined it, he was shocked. It was a magic book belonging to a legendary great mage, and an original copy. Ironically, Noah himself didn't know its true value. He only noticed that his stats increased the moment he touched it. At that instant, Leviathan reacted, pushing Noah to point the sword at the book as if threatening it, since only items with will could raise his stats. Immediately after, the spirit of the great mage emerged from the book. Darkness spread, and fear filled the area. Oscar quickly realized it was a powerful, vengeful spirit, skilled in wind magic, and told Noah to retreat. But Noah refused and stepped forward to protect him. He faced the spirit calmly, told it to disappear, then used Leviathan to cut through the darkness in a single strike, destroying it completely. Fortunately, the bonus stats remained, and the city was unharmed, as Noah had lifted the spirit into the sky before destroying it. Oscar was stunned, realizing how strong his younger brother had become. During this, a man approached them and offered to show an artifact he owned after witnessing Noah's power and believing it suited the 13th prince. The item was a strange ring said to have its own will. The man explained it only reveals its true form to the one it acknowledges as master, and many had failed to use it. Noah stepped forward and wore the ring. Instantly, it shone brightly, and a voice declared him the new master. Its stats appeared at SSS rank, and immediately a full armor formed around Noah, its true form. Noah noticed the ring's will differed from Leviathan and the mage's spirit, but it was highly useful, so he decided to buy it. Oscar paid for it instead, treating it as a simple gift for their outing. As Noah prepared to part ways, Leviathan sensed something unusual. Noah remained calm, as if allowing the attacker to approach. In a single moment, the attacker was completely captured. Since he attempted to assassinate a royal, his fate was execution. The ring had an important ability. When Leviathan sensed danger, the armor would activate automatically to protect its master. After everything, Noah returned to the restaurant to listen to Alichi's singing again. But the calm didn't last long. A group of troublemakers climbed onto the stage, trying to disrupt her performance. This time, Noah didn't hesitate. He stepped in immediately, and his aura alone was enough to scare them away without resistance. The owner rushed to apologize, realizing these repeated issues had annoyed the 13th prince. But when Noah asked him to ban such people, he hesitated, explaining they were the main source of income. Noah made a direct decision. He bought the entire place for a large sum, ending the problem at its root and ensuring a safe environment. When Alichi learned what he had done, she felt nervous, but Noah only asked her to keep singing as she was, praising her voice as truly special. His words gave her confidence, and he even mentioned she might one day sing before the emperor, pushing her to work harder. A few days later, Noah received notice that someone wished to meet him regarding an important matter. From the letter, he learned it was the governor of Hue, one of his territories, appointed for his capability. Noah agreed. After formal greetings, they spoke. It had been about a year and a half since their last meeting. The governor explained he needed Noah's help to approve and execute flood control projects in Hue. The region was a major agricultural area near a large river, but frequent floods caused heavy damage, pushing the central government to seek solutions. The governor, Mal, came from a water tribe in Almeria and had strong expertise in water management. However, the main issue was the lack of allocated budget. According to him, the Ministry of Finance kept delaying with excuses. Hearing this, Noah understood the problem and took Mal directly to confront the minister. When they arrived, they found him calmly eating, as if nothing mattered. When Noah asked about the delay, he replied there were complicated reasons. Noah wasn't convinced. Under pressure, the official said Hue had suffered a major flood last year, and the emperor had exempted it from taxes for a year, so it should have surplus funds. Noah immediately pointed out the contradiction. If the region was hit by disaster and exempted from taxes, where would this surplus come from? It was clear the money didn't exist. Noah continued pressing firmly, and the official began to show fear. Cornered with no clear escape, the official resorted to another excuse, claiming the budget was currently allocated to building a new resort for the emperor, so he wouldn't suffer from the summer heat as before. The moment Mal heard this, his anger showed clearly. Noah's anger also rose, but he remained outwardly calm, his words firm. He stepped forward and stated directly that this was clear disrespect to the emperor. A region was suffering from a natural disaster and needed urgent support, yet resources were being diverted to luxury projects, making the emperor appear as a ruler who cared more about appearances than his people. These words struck deeply. The official's confidence wavered, and under Noah's precise pressure, he finally collapsed, falling to his knees and begging for forgiveness. Without hesitation, Noah ordered him to release the budget immediately, warning that any delay would be reported directly to the emperor. Faced with this, the official had no choice. He complied at once and ordered the funds sent to Hue without delay. After the confrontation, Mal stood still, trying to process what happened. Despite his young age, Noah had forced the entire Ministry of Finance to back down with logic and calculated pressure. He admitted openly that the 13th prince's negotiation skill was exceptional, precise, and effective, turning every detail into leverage. He also apologized for doubting Noah before, realizing he had judged him only by age. With the budget secured, Mal asked to leave quickly to begin the flood control project. Soon after, soldiers informed Noah that the emperor wished to see him. At the palace, the emperor greeted him with clear satisfaction, already aware of everything. He praised him for teaching the minister a lesson, saying information is a weapon, and those who use it well can control situations without force. Noah replied calmly that he only did what was necessary. The emperor was clearly pleased. Despite his age, Noah had faced a cunning official and defeated him without hesitation. He concluded that many speak confidently, but only a few can achieve real results. For a 6-year-old child to reach such a level was something truly remarkable. Controlling Leviathan itself was a rare achievement, as the sword's history was filled with blood and tragedy. Because of that, the emperor decided to help his son master the sword and suggested training under a powerful instructor. The greatest swordsman in the empire was summoned, Noble. Noble was one of the emperor's most trusted men, and in swordsmanship, few could rival him. Upon arrival, he immediately requested a duel to test Noah's strength. Despite concern for his son's age, the emperor agreed, showing his trust in Noble. Noah accepted without hesitation, especially with Leviathan and his magic armor supporting him. Leviathan, unwilling to see its master lose, began transmitting advanced sword techniques. Using this advantage, Noah pressured Noble and landed a sudden strike that knocked the sword from his hand. All those acknowledged by Leviathan in the past were great warriors, and that was reflected in Noah's performance. In the end, Noble admitted he had nothing left to teach him. He stated that in a life-or-death battle he might still win, but disarming him proved Noah had already reached a high level. He concluded that Noah now only needed continued training, and even admitted that calling himself his teacher had been an exaggeration, expressing admiration for the young prince. The emperor was pleased. After that, he assigned Noah an important role, overseeing the knight selection exam. Noah accepted immediately. It was a major annual event across the empire, a chance for those with true strength to rise. However, he proposed removing local qualifiers and allowing all candidates to enter the final stage directly, ensuring no real talent was lost. The emperor agreed. The next day, Noah asked Dao Yi if her village participated. She explained they could only send one person each year due to high costs, and that person carried the village's hopes. Hearing this, Noah ordered the head butler to purchase all empty houses in the capital, ensuring no talent was lost due to lack of lodging. If needed, shared housing would be built, while the merchant union would handle food. That evening, Noah met Byron to settle expenses. He noticed the costs were lower than expected, realizing Byron had another motive. Byron openly revealed his plan to use the night exam period, which coincided with selecting royal servants, to place some of his people inside the palace. His goal was to gather information for future business. Noah didn't reject the offer, but set a condition: he would only help if the candidate was truly suitable. In return, Byron pledged loyalty and even offered to place the 13th prince's name on his shop. Noah agreed, but warned him clearly that betrayal would not be tolerated. On his way back, Noah noticed his stats had slightly increased after Byron became one of his followers. But something strange happened. His core stats suddenly dropped. This sudden drop in his stats made Noah realize something was wrong in Almeria. He immediately went to the palace and informed the emperor. Soon after, an urgent report confirmed a rebellion. Even without full details, Noah judged from his stats dropping from SS to S that the rebellion was still limited. The rebels numbered around 5,000, so the emperor considered assigning Noah to suppress them. But Noah refused. He admitted his lack of real combat experience and suggested Henry lead instead. The emperor approved, impressed by his judgment, and ordered Henry to act. Later, Leviathan suddenly warned of danger. Noah jumped out of the carriage as water magic attacked him, enemies surrounding him. His magic armor activated in time, blocking the attack. Realizing they used water magic, he identified them as Almeria rebels. With Leviathan, Noah defeated them easily, leaving some alive, then released its aura and knocked them unconscious. From Henry's info, most rebels were knights, despite Almeria lacking horses, which caught Noah's attention. The next day, he ordered Byron to buy all horse feed to weaken them. Later, the emperor revealed the prisoners claimed they wanted to kidnap Noah, but he doubted it. The emperor praised his thinking and rewarded him by adding a sword to his family crest. Byron reported success but warned about the rebel leader. An injured man revealed a traitor in Almeria, and Noah rewarded him. That night, Dao Yi confessed someone tried to bribe her to drug him, but she refused. Noah told her to pretend to agree while he faked unconsciousness. Soon after, he overheard rebels planning to kill him with a strange sword. He freed himself easily, and using Leviathan, saw their memories and confirmed his trap worked. He eliminated them quickly, then handed the rest to the soldiers when Byron arrived. The strange sword was cursed, so Noah kept others away. With Leviathan, he located the true mastermind and killed him from afar. The next day, the Emperor confirmed the rebellion was over and praised Noah, while Henry ended it fully. During the meeting, the Emperor wanted to punish the rebel leader's family harshly, but Noah insisted on following the law. The Emperor agreed. Noah was then given the title the Wise, causing a strong reaction among the nobles. As for the night exam, Noah planned to let candidates attack him directly, and only those who could break his defense would pass. The Emperor asked, "What if someone extremely strong appears?" Noah answered with clear confidence that he was ready to face anyone, which reassured the Emperor. That evening, the first commander reminded the Emperor of his earlier words, that Noah's earlier birth could have changed much. The Emperor smiled calmly, saying that having a son with such talent was enough. Eliminating the enemy leader without moving the army was unprecedented, proving the terrifying power of Leviathan. After that, Crow was summoned to bring something special. According to legend, no one had ever fully unsealed Leviathan, but the Emperor began to consider that Noah might achieve it. Soon, the night selection exam began. Due to Noah's fame, participation increased greatly. Records traced the exam back to the ancient Ma Empire, where its name meant warrior. With the 13th prince as judge, a huge crowd gathered to see him. As planned, Noah stood in the arena and allowed candidates to attack him directly. His magic armor activated instantly, shocking everyone. From afar, the Emperor watched closely, hoping a true talent would appear. One by one, warriors failed to break Noah's defense. Even fire magic had no effect, and Noah began to grow bored. Then, in the final round, a girl appeared. Her aura alone made Noah realize she was different, and he was right. She broke through his armor and struck him, injuring the 13th prince. The soldiers rushed to capture her, but Noah stopped them and asked her to introduce herself. After she spoke her name, Noah declared her successful, shocking everyone. Having found what he was looking for, he took her to a private room. It turned out her armor was a family heirloom. When she asked about his injury, Noah calmly said it didn't matter. He had told her to attack with full power. To prove his point, Noah asked her to strike the armor again. She attacked with full power, but this time the armor remained completely unaffected. It became clear that during the exam, Noah had only used a very small portion of its power. With full defense activated, it was impossible to break. His request wasn't random. It was a test of loyalty. He didn't favor those who hesitated before him. The girl proved herself worthy and swore lifelong loyalty. After that, Noah's stats rose again, with her contributing the most to his growth. At that moment, the doctor arrived and confirmed the injury wasn't serious. The girl watched in amazement. In her village, medicine barely existed. They relied on prayers instead. Understanding this, Noah asked her to return and bring a smart child to study medicine under the doctor. The doctor agreed, and her respect for Noah grew. Noah covered all costs so no one would feel burdened. She then moved to the palace and began learning her duties, while Dao Yi quickly became close to her. At the same time, the maids began talking about Noah's future wife. Dao Yi objected, saying he was still 6, but others noted most princes married before 15. Dao Yi clearly admired Noah and had begun learning magic to serve him better, saying serving him was her greatest happiness. This made the new girl admire him even more, seeing everyone around him was truly loyal. After a few days, the night exam ended. Thanks to Noah's system, a strong new generation appeared. Among them, Surly stood out as the strongest. Although Noah accepted her as a follower, he assigned her to bid farewell to the Knight Commander. The commander understood and gave her final advice, saying serving Noah was the right choice. That same night, Noah held a grand banquet. After time away from music, he enjoyed it. Byron and his adopted daughter attended and were specially honored. The event allowed them to connect with many merchants, something Noah valued. At that moment, Dao Yi hesitated before handing him a mysterious letter. The sender had fled, making Noah realize it was important. He opened it calmly. Leviathan gave no warning, meaning no immediate danger. The letter revealed that the Almeria rebels had begun moving again despite losing their leader. It was clearly from the same soldier who had shared information before. After being rewarded, he tried to help more, but Noah knew being a spy without experience was dangerous. Days later, another letter arrived. Worse news. The soldier had been exposed. Despite enduring torture without confessing, he was nearly killed. Henry's men saved him at the last moment, but he fell into a coma. Noah felt responsible, believing his delay caused caused it. He ordered Dao Yi to bring the best doctors, refusing to lose a loyal follower for information. Later, Noah went out with Surly. For her, the city was a new world after growing up in poverty. Noah wanted to buy a gift for Henry to thank him for suppressing the rebellion. He chose a shop where he had bought the armor, now displaying rare items. One piece caught his attention immediately. After examining it, he realized it was crafted by a legendary artisan. The glass technique used no longer existed, with only 2 pieces in the world. Noah bought it without hesitation for 10,000 gold, and rewarded the shop owner for presenting such a rare item. At that moment, Oscar entered after hearing his brother's voice. The moment he saw the statue, clear interest appeared on his face. It was quickly revealed that Oscar owned the second version of the same statue. The instant Noah realized this, he acted immediately. Without hesitation, he destroyed the statue he had just bought. Even so, he didn't ask for his money back and even gave the shop owner an extra reward. This unexpected move showed a way of thinking far beyond others. With the news spreading, it became known that the other version had also been destroyed. Oscar didn't get angry. Instead, he praised Noah's quick decision, realizing the value of his own piece would rise greatly. For Noah, the true value of a treasure was in owning it before others. Even if the artisan might be upset, Surly kept thinking about Noah's words. Noah explained that the statue was just an object, while those who risk their lives to deliver information and remain loyal were the real treasure. He even called Surly herself a treasure, which deeply affected her, making her renew her loyalty for life. Time passed quickly. Over 6 years, Noah changed greatly. More loyal followers and maids gathered around him, and his power kept growing. Now 12 years old, Noah received an overwhelming number of gifts from all sides. The volume was so large it burdened the maids, continuing even after 3 days. But Noah was used to it and showed little interest. Dao Yi mentioned that last year it lasted a full week. All gifts were carefully recorded with the sender's name and type, managed by Evely, so Noah didn't need to intervene. Because of his full control over Leviathan, he was assigned to the Ministry of the Army. Henry was his direct superior and called him to benefit from his opinion. Earlier, the Emperor had ordered troops to suppress a southern rebellion, as leniency with tribes had only encouraged them. This time, regular forces were deployed to show strength and deter them. Commander Ray was known for his intelligence in selecting soldiers and leading campaigns, making him one of Henry's top knights. Noah asked directly about the real number of regular troops, which made the official nervous. Henry was displeased with the lack of transparency, but Noah calmed the situation, saying it wasn't serious. He explained that military funding came from the Ministry of Finance, and listing fake names for salaries sometimes happened. It was common, and not worth direct blame. He also noted that adjusting troop numbers was within a commander's authority, and large numbers were often used for psychological impact. Henry agreed, but said that since the order came directly from the Emperor, the real number must be known. When it turned out the actual force was only about 2,000, Noah requested an immediate increase. He wrote a formal letter to the Ministry of Finance, requesting funding for 2,000 additional soldiers under miscellaneous expenses, a smart way to bypass complications. Henry admired this approach, seeing both firmness and flexibility. As they walked, they discussed how Noah had never fought a real battle. Despite his power, his official rank remained first tier, due to unwritten royal traditions. Royal children were often targets of conspiracies, so the emperor didn't allow Noah to enter battlefields. He could only fight after reaching a certain age or by special order. Noah was ready, but waiting for permission. Suddenly, a slave child ran toward their carriage asking for help. With one look, Noah realized the danger. It wasn't just one child, there were several, bound and being prepared for transport by human traffickers. Noah acted immediately, demanding legal trade permits, since imperial law forbade unregistered human trade. The moment he mentioned the law, the traders attacked, but they didn't realize they were facing the 13th prince. Noah drew Leviathan and ended the fight in moments. Everyone was stunned by his power. He then spoke to the children and learned they were being sold for high prices. At that moment, an old man stepped forward, claiming he profited from child trade and that he served the first prince. This surprised Noah. The man knew his identity, yet used his brother's name as cover. It was dangerous, as such claims could damage the royal family's reputation. The man acted confidently, as if he would leave without consequence. Noah asked Henry if he knew him. Henry denied it. Without hesitation, Noah struck the man. He then declared him an imposter, explaining that using Prince Robert's name to deceive people, especially in front of Noah and Henry, was a serious crime. He decided to refer the case to Robert himself. The children were taken to Noah's palace for safety. Henry praised Noah's decision, saying it prevented disorder and avoided spreading rumors about the first prince. That evening, during dinner, a messenger from the first prince arrived to thank Noah. He reported that during the investigation, the traitors admitted using a false name, but all of them took poison. Noah and Henry immediately understood. It was done to erase any link to the real mastermind. Noah then asked Henry directly if the first prince was actually allowed to engage in human trade. Henry confirmed that it was true. Henry explained that Robert had a tendency toward twisted interests, including owning a slave shop. Despite being the eldest son, he was born to a secondary wife, making him ineligible for the throne, which led him down the wrong path. Henry was surprised by how quickly Noah understood the full picture despite his age. The truth disgusted him, but he felt relieved for finally realizing it. After that, Noah approached the 5 children and told them they were now free, but they had nowhere to go. Each had been sold for different reasons, some to buy seeds, others to reduce family burden or repay debts. With no other solution, Noah decided to keep them under his care. He ordered Dion to provide each of them with proper housing and suitable work, and allowed those willing to continue their education. He set only one condition: no betrayal. The children didn't understand at first, but Dion explained it meant loyalty and gratitude, because people themselves are the true treasure. A few days later, Noah summoned Evely. She presented a full report, everything well organized. Noah trusted her, so he didn't ask much. His real reason was to appoint her as the governor of a region in Almeria. It was a rare promotion for someone who had been a maid, but the territory needed strong management. Noah believed Evely was the most capable among the maids, and keeping her in reception was a waste. She hesitated, wanting to stay by his side, but Noah told her success there would honor him as well, and asked her to see it as serving him. Moved by his words, she agreed. Surly watched and felt her master surpassed even his older brother. But Noah rejected any comparison. The next day, he was summoned by the emperor. The emperor said he knew about the incident with the traitors, and that Noah's actions protected the third prince's reputation. Noah replied he only followed the law. Unauthorized actions are punished, and accomplices are judged accordingly. The prime minister confirmed this. The emperor asked if he had been injured. Noah said no. He acted quickly. By law, attacking a royal is punishable by death, but if the attacker didn't know the identity beforehand, the penalty could be reduced. Silence filled the hall. Then the emperor laughed, saying he had won a bet with the prime minister. They had questioned whether Noah was still strict with the law. After confirming it, the emperor officially appointed him Minister of Justice, making him the second to hold the position after the fourth prince. That evening, Noah went to a music venue to listen to singing, but he kept thinking about the emperor's decision, sensing a deeper purpose behind it. At the palace, Evely quietly said her farewells, preparing to leave for her new role. The mood was mixed, pride in her promotion, yet sadness at her departure. The rescued children, meanwhile, had begun adapting, finally living in safety. Elsewhere, forces watching Noah from the shadows started moving more seriously, seeing how quickly his influence was growing. He was no longer just a talented prince, but a key figure in the empire's balance. After taking his post at the Ministry of Justice, Noah was warmly received. His reputation alone commanded respect. The second in command was Vinny, young but highly capable. Noah directly asked him about past bribes. The question shocked him, but Noah assured him he wouldn't punish him. Vinny admitted he took small amounts and avoided serious cases. Noah judged his integrity still above average, so he offered him 5,000 Ryo in exchange for stopping completely. Vinny agreed immediately, and Noah confirmed his sincerity. That same night, Oscar held a celebration for Noah's appointment. He was proud. After Henry, Noah became the second royal to hold a ministerial position in 50 years. Noah questioned why the emperor kept appointing family members. Oscar said it was due to favor, though it might look like bias, but Noah wasn't convinced. He recalled a past crisis when the heir was fixed at birth, weakening the empire. After that, all princes were trained seriously. Even so, giving such roles to Henry and Noah suggested a deeper plan. Oscar began to realize the emperor might be preparing to change the entire succession system. At that moment, shocking news arrived. Oscar himself would be appointed Minister of Finance the next day. Though this could anger the crown prince, the celebration continued. Elsewhere, the army launched mass arrests. Kiss and 167 followers were captured, and investigations revealed they planned to force the emperor to abdicate for the crown prince. It became clear that Ambek, after 50 years of rule and 35 as crown prince, prince, had grown more impatient than ever. Though no direct evidence tied him, all the arrested were close to him, raising strong suspicion. The political situation turned dangerous, so the emperor ordered the execution of all involved, without touching his son. The prime minister pointed out that Noah had been present and was the only one who understood the emperor's true intent, which pleased him. Still, Jin and Ambek troubled the emperor, making him wonder which of Henry, Oscar, or Noah could pass his hidden test. The next day, Noah was assigned to judge the rebellion case. Most names were linked to Ambek, making it look like indirect rebellion. Vinny asked for his decision. By law, royals could receive leniency, but direct conspiracy meant execution, and even silence was punishable. This put Ambek in extreme danger. But the emperor's verbal order was clear: punish only the listed names. Noah understood and ordered their execution the same day, preventing any link to Ambek. Everything was done legally. The emperor praised him and rewarded him, confirming he didn't want Ambek implicated. Back at the ministry, Noah found the guards killed by intruders. He sealed the place, captured one, and defeated the rest. Realizing they came to erase evidence, he injured himself and reported an attack, closing the case legally. Days later, the emperor praised him again, admitting he had lost trust in the crown prince, but couldn't remove him yet. Noah suggested creating a higher position above ministers and appointing the crown prince to contain him. The emperor agreed and rewarded Noah with a treasure. Noah chose a box. When opened, flames erupted, but with Leviathan he controlled them, forming a new ring that boosted his power. The emperor approved it as his. Later, Grimm tried to pay compensation for his son, but Noah refused, saying the law doesn't allow it. The emperor considered changing the law for revenue, but Noah insisted that money shouldn't replace punishment. The emperor agreed and gave him an honorary advisor title. Finally, Noah proposed a honorary knight system. Donations grant titles without power. The emperor liked the idea and assigned Oscar to implement it. On the way, Noah passed a few minor events, then tried a new training method, letting Leviathan and Lutia fight instead of him. It helped at first, but he soon realized repetition reduced its effect, and real growth needed variety. During that time, Henry informed him of a new monster nest. Using the prediction box, the result was 1, meaning Noah alone was enough. Something unprecedented. Even so, the emperor delayed the mission to turn it into a major event, showcasing Noah's power. The next day, Noah searched for magic tools, paying in advance to be notified of anything suitable. While walking, he saw a street fight and intervened. One side was a servant of a prince, acting confidently as if above punishment. Noah faced a test: ignore it or enforce the law. The servant showed arrogance. The empire. After that, all princes were trained seriously. Even so, giving such roles to Henry and Noah suggested a deeper plan. Oscar began to realize the emperor might be preparing to change the entire succession system. At that moment, shocking news arrived. Oscar himself would be appointed Minister of Finance the next day. Though this could anger the crown prince, the celebration continued. Elsewhere, the army launched mass arrests. Kiss and 167 followers were captured, and investigations revealed they planned to force the emperor to abdicate for the crown prince. It became clear that Ambek, after 50 years of rule and 35 as crown prince, had grown more impatient than ever. Though no direct evidence tied him, all the arrested were close to him, raising strong suspicion. The political situation turned dangerous, so the emperor ordered the execution of all involved, without touching his son. The prime minister pointed out that Noah had been present and was the only one who understood the emperor's true intent, which pleased him. Still, Jin and Ambek troubled the emperor, making him wonder which of Henry, Oscar, or Noah could pass his hidden test. The next day, Noah was assigned to judge the rebellion case. Most names were linked to Ambek, making it look like indirect rebellion. Vinny asked for his decision. By law, royals could receive leniency, but direct conspiracy meant execution, and even silence was punishable. This put Ambek in extreme danger. But the emperor's verbal order was clear: punish only the listed names. Noah understood and ordered their execution the same day, preventing any link to Ambek. Everything was done legally. The emperor praised him and rewarded him, confirming he didn't want Ambek implicated. Back at the ministry, Noah found the guards killed by intruders. He sealed the place, captured one, and defeated the rest. Realizing they came to erase evidence, he injured himself and reported an attack, closing the case legally. Days later, the emperor praised him again, admitting he had lost trust in the crown prince, but couldn't remove him yet. Noah suggested creating a higher position above ministers and appointing the crown prince to contain him. The emperor agreed and rewarded Noah with a treasure. Noah chose a box. When opened, flames erupted, but with Leviathan he controlled them, forming a new ring that boosted his power. The Emperor approved it as his. Later, Grimm tried to pay compensation for his son, but Noah refused, saying the law doesn't allow it. The Emperor considered changing the law for revenue, but Noah insisted that money shouldn't replace punishment. The Emperor agreed and gave him an honorary advisor title. Finally, Noah proposed an honorary knight system. Donations grant titles without power. The Emperor liked the idea and assigned Oscar to implement it. On the way, Noah passed a few minor events, then tried a new training method, letting Leviathan and Lutia fight instead of him. It helped at first, but he soon realized repetition reduced its effect, and real growth needed variety. During that time, Henry informed him of a new monster nest. Using the prediction box, the result was 1, meaning Noah alone was enough. Something unprecedented. Even so, the Emperor delayed the mission to turn it into a major event, showcasing Noah's power. The next day, Noah searched for magic tools, paying in advance to be notified of anything suitable. While walking, he saw a street fight and intervened. One side was a servant of a prince, acting confidently as if above punishment. Noah faced a test: ignore it or enforce the law. The servant showed arrogance and failed to give proper respect, despite knowing Noah's identity. Noah treated it as a violation, ordered his arrest, and issued an immediate harsh sentence. Afterward, he went to Prince Jinbe, explained everything, and Jinbe approved, distancing himself from the servant and praising Noah. On the way back, Noah said the apology was only to avoid tension, closing the matter. The next day, John requested to serve under Noah. He accepted outwardly but secretly investigated him. The report showed John's family had served Jinbe, making him a suspected spy. Instead of exposing him, Noah chose to use him. Later, a cursed painting arrived. When Noah struck it, a girl's spirit was released. She introduced herself as Hwawa and pledged loyalty. She could perfectly mimic anyone and shift between physical and non-physical forms, making her extremely valuable. Noah quickly understood her abilities, surprising the shop owner, whom he rewarded. Soon after, Byron sent many gifts, as his adopted daughter Ada gained favor with the Emperor through Noah. Noah was pleased but knew such positions were risky. He arranged support and warned her to be careful. He also sent money and a message to his mother through Dao Yi to support Ada, turning the situation into a political advantage. Dao Yi was surprised by his long-term thinking. Later, she told him her mother had seen a stranger in the palace. Noah stayed silent and observed. Expecting an attack, he planned ahead and had Hwawa disguise herself as her mother. When John attempted the attack, it was actually Hwawa, and he was monitored afterward. To protect the real mother, Noah staged a fake funeral, making enemies believe she was dead. The next day, John woke up inside Noah's palace. Noah told him he had barely survived the night. Hwawa explained everything, including eliminating witnesses. John realized those who sent him had also tried to kill him after his failure. But Noah had expected this and saved him. Overcome with regret, John wished he had served Noah from the start. Noah saw his potential and accepted him, shocking him. He made it clear betrayal would bring worse than death, but loyalty would guarantee protection, as he never abandons his followers. Hearing this, John broke down in tears and swore loyalty to Noah. At that moment, Noah's status panel appeared, confirming that John's oath was genuine. Noah first ordered his treatment, then arranged a new identity for him as the son of a poor noble, allowing him to continue serving without suspicion. John then revealed a critical secret. The first prince had presented the Emperor with a substance that could be used as poison. Noah immediately went to the Emperor and warned him to stop drinking the plum wine given by Jinbe. The wine itself wasn't poisonous, but when mixed with certain materials, like dragon claw, it became a lethal toxin with no cure. During the ancestral ritual, the Emperor and Crown Prince must drink together. If that mixture were used, both would die instantly. The Emperor realized the danger, praised Noah, and ordered Jinbe's palace surrounded. That same night, everyone inside was arrested, and evidence confirmed a plot to assassinate both the Emperor and the Crown Prince. Afterward, Noah felt the Emperor had known for some time. The Emperor later admitted it. He had suspected the danger but chose to observe, knowing his long rule had made others impatient. But Noah was different. Because of that, the Emperor appointed him commander of the Imperial Guard, stating he would not fall easily. His true goal was to find the one worthy of the throne. Days later, Noah presented clear evidence of the assassination plot. There was no doubt the first prince would face execution. When the news spread, Crown Prince Ambek was furious and harshly condemned him. By law, attempting to assassinate the Emperor meant death. Still, Noah considered reducing the punishment to life imprisonment since the plan failed, but Ambek rejected it completely. The emperor appreciated Noah's humane thinking, but in the end, left the execution decision to the crown prince without hesitation. Later, the emperor offered Noah the first prince's territory, but Noah refused, fearing it would spark conflict among the princes. At that time, Noah was nearing 12, the age at which marriage becomes acceptable in royal tradition, where the first wife holds significant political importance and is often chosen based on status and alliances. The emperor mentioned the granddaughter of Louis, the prince who had once left the palace to live in isolation. According to a known prophecy, if Noah married her, their child would possess extraordinary intelligence. Without hesitation, Noah agreed to his father's arrangement. This decisive response surprised the prime minister, as Noah didn't even ask about the girl. The emperor explained that this reflected the true mindset of royal heirs and confirmed that the 13th prince had reached a level worthy of high expectations. After returning to the palace, John knelt before Noah and admitted his mistake, saying he had no excuse for betraying his former master. By imperial law, revealing a rebellion grants immunity and may earn up to 1,000 gold. But Noah went further, rewarding him personally, since his information saved the emperor. He then allowed John to choose his future role, which deepened his loyalty. Soon after, Noah told Dao Yi that her mother was safe and she could return to normal. She felt deep gratitude. The next day, Noah went to the old city. Gigi noticed a large crowd in the east, and he went to see. At the center, a girl challenged everyone, offering herself as a reward to anyone who defeated her. Noah briefly considered the law. Since she acted willingly, it wasn't forbidden. The entry fee was 1 gold, attracting many challengers. Fights were one-on-one. One by one, they lost. Even after 15 battles, she remained standing. Then a suspicious man appeared, trying to join without paying, claiming she would be his anyway. During the fight, the girl suddenly lost movement, and he struck her down. Noah stepped in immediately, declaring a rule violation. He revealed a hidden weapon planted in her body that caused paralysis, meaning there was an accomplice. He ordered Leviathan to expose the hidden partner in the crowd, and the truth was revealed. The crowd rejected the man's victory. Enraged, he attacked, but Noah drew Leviathan and dropped him with 2 warning strikes. Despite that, Noah spared him and let him flee. Moments later, the girl regained consciousness. Confused, people told her Noah had saved her. He explained the cheating and pointed out her lack of caution despite her strength. The 13th prince asked why she risked such a challenge. She explained she had no money to return home. She came to the capital for the night exam, but was rejected, so she needed money. Noah found it strange. Her strength should have qualified her. She added that she asked the 17th prince, but he demanded something she refused, so she withdrew. Noah understood without more details and didn't press further. He asked if she still wanted to be a knight. She said yes. He gave her 100 Ryo for expenses and ordered Gigi to arrange lodging, impressed by her determination. At that moment, the group returned. The hostile man sought revenge. Noah didn't stop it. Lutea was eager to fight. He linked Lutea with the armor ring, turning both into fire-based weapons. The battle began instantly. Noah defeated them with ease, striking one after another, burning the last as a warning. The girl watched in admiration. When she learned the last man was a knight under the 17th prince, Noah understood everything. He confronted him directly. The man collapsed, admitting he was paid to trap the girl. Once they realized Noah was the minister of justice, the wise prince, their attitude changed completely. The girl then asked to serve under Noah, seeing him as just and humble. Noah spared the soldier but ordered him to deal with the others himself. Nearby, a mysterious man applauded. He praised Noah's courage. Noah noticed a golden bottle with a noble crest and recognized him immediately, Prince Louis. He was rarely seen, having left the capital long ago. In the past, Indra had helped the emperor greatly, acting as regent and restoring order during chaos, then stepping down after peace returned. Because of this, he was given the title Prince Louis. Indra invited Noah to sit and talk. He said knowing him meant Noah had heard his story and likely understood why he came. Though Noah's engagement to his granddaughter was decided, he wanted to judge him personally. When Noah asked what if he wasn't suitable, Indra laughed and said he wouldn't allow the marriage. He made it clear he loved his granddaughter and would oppose even the emperor if needed. Noah realized he was truly unique. Then the test began. A powerful aura pressed down on Noah. To resist it, he used Leviathan. Though he could end it quickly, Noah held back, preserving Prince Louis's dignity out of respect for his status. After the clash, Prince Louis laughed, saying Noah was truly exceptional. He admitted Noah had held back to keep the fight balanced, then formally entrusted him with his granddaughter. In a generous mood, he rewarded everyone with money to celebrate, making it hard for anyone to dislike him. His gift to Noah was a ring containing a spirit. The moment Noah touched it, he was drawn into a separate space and faced a massive beast. He summoned Leviathan and defeated the giant bull easily. The beast, named Behemoth, immediately pledged loyalty, increasing Noah's power again. Wearing the ring, Noah showed its ability. It could turn anything it touched into gold. Indra was amazed, as he had known of it, but never controlled it. At his request, Noah combined Behemoth with his armor to display a smaller golden form. Noah then explained how he made his spirit weapons fight to grow stronger, summoning Leviathan, Lutea, and Huawa together. For the first time in 1,000 years, these forces gathered. At that moment, Noah felt a strange sensation and was drawn into a galaxy-like space where entities representing Leviathan, Baramot, and Lutea appeared. They spoke of a meeting 1,000 years ago and said Noah resembled the one who gathered them. They hinted his true power had yet to awaken. When he returned, others confirmed they heard the voices too, seeing it as a divine sign. Noah used the moment to reward the crowd, though one girl refused money and asked to serve him as a knight. He told her to grow stronger first. Then the emperor arrived, greeted Noah, and announced he would send him on a military campaign to elevate his name. Speaking with Indra, he revealed he was considering removing Prince Albert from succession due to his unfitness. He noted that Henry, Oscar, and Noah would become future targets because of their talent. When asked about the next heir, he said he hadn't decided yet. Indra objected, saying the throne couldn't remain without an heir, but the emperor said he had a name, though revealing it now could cause unrest. Noah suggested announcing that the emperor's will was ready. To prevent forgery, he proposed hiding it within the emperor's body. Both agreed. They moved to the office and decided to act immediately. Indra then suggested securing full control of the army to prevent any coup, even if it meant removing Noah from his post. The emperor wrote dismissal letters for Noah and another for Henry. Finally, Noah confirmed the emperor had full authority to remove Albert, but he suggested not stripping him completely, since he committed no direct crime, only removing his right to rule. The emperor agreed and declared Albert unfit to inherit the throne. When asked if he could return someday, Noah proposed giving him a title that permanently ended his claim. As the emperor wrote the decree, he made mistakes several times. Indra mocked him jokingly, while the emperor paused, feeling the weight of taking his son's future, before rewriting it again. Noah convinced the emperor to keep the document unchanged, saying its flaws reflected his true feelings. The emperor was moved, and regretted not trusting him sooner. After sealing it, the emperor handed it to a servant, but Noah noticed something off. The man glanced at the document despite not knowing how to read. Noah exposed him immediately. When the servant tried to escape, Leviathan restrained him without effort. The emperor called his aide, who admitted his mistake. When asked for judgment, Noah ordered the spy's execution, deciding it wasn't the right time to expose the true mastermind. The emperor agreed. As for the aide, Noah imposed a 6-month salary cut. The matter was settled quickly. Afterward, Shirley noticed Noah's tension. He told her he was going to crown Prince Albert. She prepared for conflict, but Noah assured her it wouldn't be physical. At Albert's palace, Noah greeted him respectfully. Albert welcomed him warmly, dismissing formalities and inviting him inside. Noah left Shirley outside, showing clear trust. They moved to the garden, where Noah praised its beauty and noticed a unique twin-trunk tree. Impressed, Albert offered to send it to him. Noah accepted, and Albert remarked that Noah had proven himself worthy of Leviathan. Then Noah revealed the real issue. The emperor planned to travel north and intended to take him along. Albert was shocked, as he was supposed to govern in the emperor's absence. Noah explained it was for training, but Albert quickly understood. He had been removed from succession. Despite that, he stayed calm, thanked Noah, and left. That same night, while Noah was reading, Zoe informed him that a girl named Olivia wished to meet him. Trusting Zoe's judgment, he agreed. Olivia revealed that Albert was planning a coup that very night to force the emperor to abdicate. Noah was shocked and demanded details. She explained she was the daughter of a servant from the Gilbert family, once tied to the first prince, and had overheard Albert discussing troop movement and seizing the palace. She begged Noah to stop him, even if it cost her everything. Noah agreed immediately. He offered her a position under him with the same role and salary. Olivia accepted, surprised by his fairness. Noah simply replied that loyalty had real value, and he never ignored it. After that, Noah moved quickly. Zoe and Gigi offered to bring a carriage, but he refused, choosing to go alone. Zoe worried, but he assured her everything was under control. At the same time, Albert was addressing 1,000 soldiers in the military ministry, claiming the emperor had grown weak and it was time to remove him. The soldiers were convinced and began to move. Suddenly, Noah appeared and told him to stop. He warned Albert clearly that this path would only lead to his destruction, but Albert ignored him. His anger surfaced. He had spent his life waiting to become emperor, and being reduced to just a prince felt like humiliation. To him, the throne was his right. Noah realized this was no longer politics, but pride and inner collapse. Albert ordered the soldiers to arrest Noah for treason. They rushed forward, but Noah avoided them easily, knowing they were only following orders. He didn't harm them, using Leviathan's power to stop them without real damage. Elsewhere, events shifted. Legendary entities like Leviathan and Bahamut appeared before him as spirits, saying the time had come. When he called Bahamut, a massive flame burst forth, but he quickly suppressed it. From then on, people began to see him as someone chosen by heaven. At the same time, political tensions rose within the empire. The emperor considered changing the heir after seeing Albert's unfitness. Eventually, a coup led by Albert was revealed. Van confronted him and stopped it without direct combat. With the plan failed, Albert chose to end his own life rather than see his followers executed. After this, the empire entered a new era of peace. Over the years, Van continued developing his village, earning respect from all. In the end, everyone gathered in a grand celebration, preparing to choose a new heir to the throne. And here, the story comes to an end, my friend. I hope you enjoyed it and had a great time. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. And before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button to support us, subscribe for more content, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new anime recaps. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.